Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are on episode Who Knows? You'll find out in the title. This is Eric. I'm joined by the usual gang. Zach, how are you doing?
I'm Aces, buddy.
All right. How about you, Knock?
I'm good, man. We're a quarter of the way to 100 episodes. Still can't believe we're this far in.
Oh, yeah. Damn. All right. And Paul, how are you doing, man?
My throat hurts.
Damn. It must suck to be on a podcast.
But I'm doing all right, though.
All right. That's cool. Well, we got a good show for you guys today. We're going to go through the weekly recap as always, news and rumors. Zach's got a game of Bop It for us. Paul's got a Hall of Fame. Knock is coming at us with a discussion. And later we're going to debate pros and cons about WWE taking over Twitch streams and, of course, promo school. Before we get to all that, I wanted to give a quick little spiel because if you are watching this on YouTube, chances are you might have seen other YouTubers are making videos where they discuss how YouTube's algorithm is screwing them over. So I just wanted to take this time real quick to say to you guys, we don't usually ask for likes, subscribes, all that. We're starting to put into our videos more. It will help us a lot if you guys do like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment, help us grow, because the algorithm is a bitch. So help us out with that by trying to overcome that.
Yeah, and I agree with Eric. We're not trying to sound like needy or desperate, but it's like we put a lot of work into these videos. And we really do appreciate you all, and we want you guys to watch the content. So if you guys can just, just like hit that notification bell or do whatever you can as a subscriber, we really appreciate it because we actually do care about you guys.
Very true. All right. Well, let's get ourselves into some wrestling, starting off with Monday Night Raw. Let's see what we have here. I might not be going in complete normal order, but a few things here. Drew McIntyre defeat Robert Roode, who made his return. A rematch from NXT. Asuka defeats Zelina Vega once again. And the Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Aaliyah drama with Buddy Murphy continues as Murphy defeats Dominic. Paul, I wanted to ask you, what did you think about Asuka beating Zelina again?
Yeah. It's like I'm starting to take your words into heart. Like, Zelina is just filler at this point. This isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Like, it's the same thing. Asuka wins every week. And I hate to say it, like I'm still a little tired of Asuka. Just a little. I still love her, but it's repetitive at this point.
I don't think they know how to book her, but
no.
Knock, how about you? Any thoughts about Raw?
With the Asuka stuff, I'm fine with Zelina losing. It needs to go somewhere. If it's all just throwing her a match for nothing, then it's pointless. We'll forget about it, in a few months. But it needs to mean something. And Asuka needs a proper story. I did like solid snake, solid viper, Randy Orton. It was just comical. Like I didn't like it at first, but then when you made that comment, Eric, it made me laugh. I was like, oh, this is kind of funny.
Solid Snake? What is this, Metal Gear Solid all of a sudden?
It literally was. So pretty much Randy Orton, he was dressed up as like a janitor. He had the goggles on, and he went backstage and snuck around trying to take out all the legends that hurt him in his match at Clash of Champions.
In a cardboard box?
It might as well have been.
I don't know why. The funniest thing about that segment to me is the poor cameraman who's in the room when he does this is just like cowering as the lights go off. He has to hope for him. He doesn't get him.
I think the worst part about this is I had my mic on mute and told some gold jokes, but that's okay.
Oh no!
I laughed.
Say one of them at least.
Do you think an exclamation point went off above Big Show's head?
Whenever he downed an opponent, they would have like the dizzy stars.
Oh. And then Shawn Michaels, of course, because he's made of steel, shows up on NXT the next night. But we'll get to that later. Zach, any thoughts about Raw?
The Bobby Roode coming back. It's just weird. You have all these people go in between brands right now, and you have Roode coming back all right before the draft. I don't know. It's just kind of odd to me, but I guess you need to do stuff for ratings. But
yeah.
Oh, the biggest thing I just want to complain about: Aleister Black's shit new music.
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah.
Is the worst thing I've heard in a long time, and like I've bitched about some music on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Look, as someone who's in a metal band, it's insulting. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
It's strange because he did an interview where he said that he helped pick it. So I would love to hear the other choices that they offered him.
Yeah.
Which also sorry, Locke, but to say that he picked it means they had all these generic songs already lined up. They didn't even make it for him.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Locke. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I don't know how you go from his last theme, which I thought was great, to this
so
nonsense.
good.
It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
Like I would listen to that like when I'm working out. It was just so good.
It was almost like if you had a hip hop group make a death metal song. I loved his old song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So new metal.
No.
There's I don't know how I would do it, but I always want to do an episode where we talk about CFO because it's just weird that like Jim Johnston songs they never tried this hard to get rid of them, but CFO they're just trying to get rid of all their songs.
Oh, they did Alistair's theme song also, the old one.
Yeah.
Damn.
So they're no longer with WWE, right?
Right.
No,
There's
they
a
weren't
list of
bad at all.
about 15 people that still have the CFO songs. I was going to send you guys the list, but I must have forgot. But get ready for a lot of new theme songs coming up, folks.
Yeah.
That is trash.
If they change Shinsuke's, I'm gonna rage.
They better not.
Anything else about Raw that stick out to you guys?
Mandy.
So I kind of don't mind her being in a tag team with Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke needs something to do, and I don't think Mandy's quite ready to be a single star. So I'm kind of fine with this.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
I forgot Dana Brooke was still there, so yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
What do you guys think about? Because Alexa Bliss caught some heat for this on Twitter. What do you guys think about this storyline with Buddy Murphy and
Aaliyah?
Yeah,
it's weird. Like she's just 19. I know she's above the age now, but the dude's in his 30s, and they're out here leaking her texts and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also, Alexa and Buddy used to date.
Yeah,
well, they were engaged.
They were engaged, yeah. So that makes it even more awkward. I don't get what they're going with this.
Yeah. Well, Alexa Kahi, she was trying to support the storyline, and then everyone just came out like, yo, she's 19. And Alexa kind of like slowly like backtracked. It's like, okay, I didn't know the age, but still. But yeah, that was pretty much Raw. Kevin Owens fights Aleister Black, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and the 24/7 championship changed 3 times in under 1 minute. What else is new? But at least the show was better than last week, which was a very low bar.
Yeah, he was on the floor.
It's not much of an improvement.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to AEW. Gonna mix things up. We have, let's see, Cody comes back and accepts the challenge for the dog collar match. The Young Bucks kick Tony Schiavone in the head, and Jericho Cassidy have a good match, maybe a great match. What did you guys like about the show? I'll start with you, Zach.
I liked it. I did like the Cassidy Jericho match, and like I said last week, we were going to watch this kid grow. I like that a lot about wrestling, especially when you have hours and hours of it, week in and week out. You've seen a lot of guys do a lot of stuff, and see new guys grow. I love it. I don't like the Luther thing. I don't know what he's going for there at the end. That's odd. And then I just want to mention to Eric and Naki, did you notice Watts in the crowd?
Yeah. Yes.
Kept meaning to ask you guys. Well, yeah, he was there and he did a show. I think like 2 days later. The guy works.
Good. I saw a good amount of personality in him in about the 30 seconds that I saw of him because he has this like one-dimensional character in Championship Wrestling in Hollywood. But I'm excited to see him in AEW.
It's good to see the crossover because I know he works a lot with Scorpio Sky, in the Championship of Hollywood. The match you're talking about that he had at Championship of Hollywood was with D'Angelo De Niro or Elijah Burke. He came back. He tagged with him. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, also on Dark, they had another championship. Ray Rosas, Peter Avalon's partner, debuted. So they're bringing people over from there. A lot of people, actually.
Good, because they just had that the whole thing with NWA and a couple other promotions now too. So promotions.
A lot of crossover there.
Yeah,
and Watts either wear the mask or don't wear the chin diaper. Put it on or take it off. But go ahead, Paul. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say the most important thing. Our girl Britt Baker, she's back. What do you guys think?
Yeah. She looks like a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
She really does.
She looks great.
Yeah.
What a difference a year makes.
Yeah. And pretty good comeback. I liked her match against Red Velvet. I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
What's Red Velvet stirring? Is she making a red velvet cake? Is that like the thing that she's doing?
I think it's like she's stirring the pot, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I only got that because commentary said the exact moment she did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still gonna pretend that it's like a K-pop gimmick because she's named Red Velvet. That's all I'm gonna say.
What else was there? Darby Allin versus the absolute Ricky Starks. Talk about
I love this feud. I was gonna say I love this feud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Someone made a point on Twitter or Facebook. This drew like huge amount of ratings versus Shotzi Blackheart and Dakota Kai, I think it was.
Yeah, they hit over 1 million.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So you can make the argument they might be stars already, or maybe it's Darby Allin's star power. Maybe Ricky Starks is still growing, but damn good match.
Yeah.
So Darby's trainer in the beginning vignette, he did the whole bitch thing. Do you guys see like what I said about that always being used now? Like it's fine if people use it, but I'm just saying it's just like everyone's go-to, and that's the only thing that bothers me.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally got that.
Okay, because someone else said it on. Oh, Sasha said it on SmackDown, yeah, and I was fine
Sasha.
because when females do it, it's very rarely used, but they do go to it a lot too. But in that case with Sasha, it worked.
See, I thought it was the opposite. I was okay with Darby's dude saying it because he was a rapper from outside WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, he doesn't know how much we use it. But Sasha, I was like, don't. I hate when they make bitch like the last strong word. Like, ooh, you're so fucking edgy.
That's the worst thing about it. But yeah, I'm loving this Darby and Starks thing.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else before we move on?
What do you guys think about the dog collar match coming up with Cody and Mr. Brody Lee?
I'm hyped for it. I'm scared of the result, but I'm hyped for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think Cody's going to take some real damage here. He's going to really try to go all out for it.
So I believe he really understands the dog collar match, but if you understand it, it's a slow burn kind of a match. But he's going to amp it up. So I'm scared too.
Yeah.
So we got FTR versus SCU, 20-minute was it Brush of Greatness?
Yeah.
I'm digging what FTR is doing right now. I think they're becoming my favorite tag team champion so far, over Hangman and Kenny.
I think so too, because they're treating it as like this their division, trying to bring it to the old school vibe, and it's really a different change of pace for AW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And finally, the championship belts went to someone else after they've been on Paige and Omega's waist for so long. I feel like they're going to take it somewhere at this point, because before I didn't feel like it was going anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. And the last thing I'll say before we go on is because Shawn Spears is one of my favorite heels. Just that good luck out there before the match.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
Yeah.
He doesn't get...
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead and finish this up.
I was going to say real quick, he doesn't get many moments, but he does shine in them, and I'm really happy to see him doing this.
Yes. I just wanted to point out Kip and Miro aren't really working for me, but I did appreciate the little Billy Mitchell appearance in there. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't last long. I don't like that either. Like it was cool at first. I know that they do Twitch together, and that's cool, but especially with that match, the vibe wasn't there for me.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's head over to the other side and let's talk NXT. Let's see. We've got, as I mentioned before, Shawn Michaels moderating for Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. I'll ask you, Zach, what did you think about that segment?
It was fine. Nothing really. I don't know. Yeah, it was fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It didn't. Nothing hit me. Nothing like was bad. I don't know. You guys?
So go ahead, Knock.
I'm gonna say I liked it a lot. It worked. Finn given like kind of mutual respect, but saying this is my time. I'm the guy. If I wasn't here, I like all that stuff, and it's really quickly turning Kyle into a face for me since he's been a heel this entire time.
Yeah. I was just, I don't want to say disappointed because they don't do it too much, but I don't like that they're trying to paint O'Reilly as the underdog. Dude's been tag champs for as many times as we can count. We all know we can go in the ring. I don't count him as the underdog.
Yeah, I think that was my issue with it. I think you just hit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, dude's probably Undisputed Era. Like, there's no underdog in that group.
Yeah, no weak link.
Yeah.
The package they showed for O'Reilly was the good thing that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do really good with those prime target promos. They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do. We had Shotzi Blackheart versus Dakota Kai. Solid, decent match.
I will say again, one of the scariest bulldogs I've ever seen. The one she did out on the outside there. She came so close to hitting her head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who it was. If it was Dakota not pushing her over enough, or if she just didn't get enough on the kickoff on the post. But that was very scary.
I think looking back, I don't think she got enough kickoff on the post because I think Dakota had a pretty good grasp on her.
Mm.
What else do we have? Cameron Grimes said he was going to, what was it, the Cameron Grimes Invitational or something like that?
Something like that. He faced, was it Ariel Dominguez? And then Ridge Holland came out?
Oh, yeah. Good for him. I think, I dig it. Build him up, beat the shit out of some people. I'll take it.
Yeah, he's getting that Lars Sullivan push.
Yeah, hopefully there's another Lars Sullivan internet history. But
or career choices.
Yeah,
I do want to say this was like right before NXT, but their woman announcer Alicia Taylor, that's been like really good.
Mm-hmm.
They gave her like her own quick documentary before NXT, and it was really cool because she was like in a death metal group and she uses that voice for announcing, and she's just so different. I really like her announcing, and it was cool to see this from her.
Yeah, it was cool of them to give her those props.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think they're going to do anything with her, or is it just a fun little?
I think they just recognize how talented she is, and just want to give her that shine because I was surprised at how good she was when she did the War Game stuff. It was really cool. It was very different.
I think she's the best out there, personally.
Yeah,
I dig it.
And also, Austin Theory lost for the third time in a row.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I really don't care about Austin Theory, so I'm fine with that, especially if it's Nicole.
But the thing is that he at least puts on good contests, though. So I think maybe they're going to try to go somewhere with this.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about him at all.
No? Okay.
It's not even his fault. He just got called up way too early. That's all it is.
And honestly, they have all these other storylines going on, so he's just sitting back right now, and at least he's working, getting TV time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And last two matches I can think of, Kushida defeats Tony Nese, and Caden Carter defeats Xia Li. Anyone care about those two matches, or are we all set to go to SmackDown?
Let's head over to SmackDown.
Yeah, Gargano's face. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with it.
I dig it.
I like Kushida.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah.
I love the guy.
I'm a splitter.
I think we all have him. Who predicted Velveteen?
I think Zach predicted Velveteen.
Yes.
All right. At this time, I don't know if TakeOver is still going or it's done, but we're not watching it right now because we're recording. But we head on over to SmackDown Live. We start off with Roman and Jay having set the stage for a rematch for a match with the highest stakes in WWE history. What did you guys think about this segment?
Big words there. Big words.
Roman is pure gold. Everything he's doing. This is career defining. I'm loving the Tribal Chief stuff. He's just so good. His promos, his subtlety, and like saying this to Jay, this is all you want, it's all you care about. This is the bloodline. I think it's solely hinting at that stable. I'm digging everything about this.
Yeah. I remember saying last night, I don't know, Roman's doing an A+ job, quickly going to S rank. I don't know why.
I think he's already there.
I'll see after Hell in a Cell. Or maybe next week he'll get me to S class. I don't know. He's definitely rising.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about Jay that I'm not connecting with. I just don't know.
I figured it out, Eric, because after you made the comment, that's when I watched it. He can't act. He's awesome on the mic, but he can't act. And that's the one thing that he needs to do to go back and forth with Roman on this. Roman is acting and he's delivering, but Jay is just not really acting.
Mm-hmm. And I always say this. I always view Jimmy as the more entertaining twin. I always felt like Jimmy had more of the personality. So I'm kind of waiting for his return and hopefully they'll do something together. Not sure though.
Yeah, I think Jimmy has a few more months out. I think he'll still come up, every now and then some promos or like managerial role, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you're right with that, Zach. I guess that's what's the missing part from Jay.
Because he's been trash talking as a tag team and, going back and forth with Jimmy, but now we're in the soap opera portion of a huge storyline and his biggest storyline personally, I think. And it's that thing that he never really had to do because he could go back and forth on the mic with the New Day. And it was, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was like, that's his wheelhouse. That's what he's great at. He's 100% fine there, but the acting maybe struggles a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
I would say it's easy to do that with the New Day because the New Day gives you a lot of good material.
Yeah,
they're so good at going back and forth. But with like Roman Reigns and like a serious kind of storyline like this, you kind of need to come up with something fresh.
Yeah, you're out there with the wolves. You're by yourself.
Yeah.
Man. I hate everything about the Otis, John Morrison, Miz stuff. I don't like the storyline at all. I skip through it. It's just it's not doing it for me.
It was so short. I'm going to call it a squash match against John Morrison.
Yeah,
I hate that. I love John Morrison so much. The time when it was all like Cena stuff going on, I thought the two guys that they should have pushed to the moon were Morrison and Shelton Benjamin, and then they didn't do shit. And now it's happening again, and it's pissing me off again.
Yeah,
at least Shelton's
it's been almost a year since he's returned, and just really not much of anything.
Damn, it's already almost been a year.
Yeah, I mean, well, a few more months out, but he returned right before the Rumble. Maybe I'm stretching a little bit. The Sami Zayn promo he did with the throwing out Jeff's title. I don't know if it's because I heard the sound effect of the title dropping in the garbage, but it was just hilarious to me. I loved it.
I was just like, okay, Alundra Blaze, cool.
Right. What else? Everything just flew by in the show. They really did everything fast just for that main event.
We got Shorty G, man. We got to mention him. We were talking about it in the group chat, but he either needs to request going back to NXT and being the new king of the cruiserweights, like Eric said. He needs to leave or get some other new tag team partner and enter the tag division because the tag division's hurting and he needs to do something besides what he's doing now.
Yep. Yeah, cause, I mean, at this point, he's a jobber. There's nothing else to call it. He's
straight
up
there
to get beat. It's just a shame. Dude's so talented.
He lost to Sheamus within a few minutes.
Yeah. And,
sad.
The worst part is, like, when Daniel Bryan used to get, like, not buried to this extent, but when he wasn't getting what he deserved, the fans rallied behind him. No one's rallying behind Shorty G or Gable.
No.
Right.
Like, I mean, not with a name like that. That's another thing rooted in.
Yeah.
Yeah. They completely buried his ass.
His stock is beyond zero. It's way too low.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's not. Let's see what else. The Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle defeat Corbin, Cesaro, and Shinsuke.
That hair, man. Come on, Matt Riddle.
Yeah. Seriously. What? Just stick with what you got, man. Kalisto hinting at a heel turn, but I don't care enough about Kalisto to care. So
they usually do this when like people are about to leave, and I feel like this is not going to go anywhere because one of them's going to end up getting released or just not re-signing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I get the feeling he's going to take out Lindsay, and it's going to lead to Kalisto versus Grand Metalik because I don't think Lindsay is going to re-sign.
It'll be a good match, but I really won't care about it.
Yeah,
we can't. We'll be remiss if we didn't talk about the Fiend and Alexa finally connecting here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Great stuff. I'm so excited for them because unlike Jay, which I hope he improves on, these two can really act.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely love it. And if hopefully they zoomed in on it, so I'm sure it was the Hurt Glove. I hope Kevin Owens turns heel from this.
Yeah, when you mentioned that, I looked. It definitely was a Hurt Glove. So
yeah,
we need to heel Kevin Owens.
Yeah, face Kevin Owens, man. Again, him and MJF, the two that I've seen do so much more, and I just want to see that back from Kevin Owens.
Definitely. What else we got here? And Sasha's promo on Bayley, as we mentioned, don't like the bitch word, but it is going to lead to Hell in a Cell. Knock, you saying you were hyped for this? You're down for this?
Yeah, I'm down. I would prefer them having him like the original plan was in Boston, so Sasha should get that win in her hometown or like with some live crowd. But if they do it in Hell Center, I believe these two will tear it up. So I'll be fine with that.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at Sasha Banks' Hell in a Cell match from 2 years ago. Look at like their Elimination Chamber matches. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be good.
I hope so. I'm just scared because Hell in a Cell has sucked so many like in the past.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you don't do what Seth Rollins did, you're okay.
Yeah.
And rumor is that this is supposed to headline the pay-per-view, so hopefully that lights a fire underneath them to just put on match of the year.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I hope so. And finally, Sami Zayn defeats Jeff Hardy in a title rematch. The story of the match being that Zayn, without any of us seeing it, removes a turnbuckle cover. And the whole story is basically who's going to get hit by this turnbuckle. I love matches like these where you know it's coming. It's just when and who's going to lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is stuff I grew up on watching, and it was a story, like you said, in a match, and it was done brilliantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how smart they're letting Sammy be. It's just good stuff from him.
Thank you for actually letting a wrestler tell a story this time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Not a roll-up pin.
Mm-hmm.
If Sammy wins all his title defenses in some sneaky, underhanded way, then they'll do his reign right.
Yeah, they'll be memorable.
All right. That is the weekly recap.
Oh, just really quick, I just want to point out Carmella was revealed to be the person in the mirror, and
Yeah.
I'm digging this for one reason. She says, about her past, and look where that got me, nowhere. It got you to a championship. All right, let's proofread these before we say
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I'm like, what are you talking about? You got one of the biggest pushes in 2017 or 18.
Yeah. There was one line that just stuck out with me. She's like, I'm untouchable unless I want to be. And I just hear Corey Graves in his mic just going,
Beating heavily.
Yeah. Oh, man. This is the third or fourth time they've done this gimmick. Emma, what's her name?
Mandy.
It's perfect. Liv Morgan.
They dropped that real quick with Liv Morgan.
Fuck this revolution. If you're gonna keep doing this gimmick, or it's women are we just suddenly got hot and that's our gimmick, then fuck you. That's not a gimmick. That's just Vince thinking that they need more makeup. I can't stand WWE sometimes, but I think that's it for the recap. I'll give Eddie Kingston a pass this week. I won't shit on him.
Thank you.
Any news and rumors you guys got?
Let me just get into ROH Pier really quick. I just want to discuss what happened on that. The Pier tournament, Tracy Williams beat Russ Taylor, and PJ Black beat Tony Deppen. And I just want to give a shout out to Russ Taylor and Tony Deppen for giving us a shout out on Instagram, and also to Slice Boogie, Richie Slade, Anthony Idol, and Gentleman Jervis on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood for checking us out too on Instagram. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Jordan Clearwater also had a match there too, and me and Eric know him. This dude is very smooth in the ring, so keep an eye out for that guy too.
Yeah.
Heard. I got some news.
Hey, what you got?
So AEW star Lance Archer test positive for coronavirus about a week ago. So that's something.
Yep, he did. I think a few people did. It was a few people from the September 9th episode of AEW.
Yeah. Why were you guys laughing?
Because they had to change the whole thing 2 weeks ago because of it. So I was no offense, it was just a little late, that's all.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry about that.
I thought so. No, it's okay. I thought so. But I also have some other news.
What else you
A
got?
couple of movies starring some wrestlers in the pro wrestling industry released to critical negative reception. One being Money Plane, and the other one being, I forget the name, but it has Eva Marie in it. And I think both of them currently hold a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
So
Damn.
yeah, you don't have to watch those.
Is Money Plane the Edge movie?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
And it takes itself so seriously, but it's the most ridiculous movie ever. If you want to see a good review, watch Drew Gooden's review on YouTube. It's so funny.
Okay.
I mean, I feel bad for Edge, but Eva, oh well.
You know what though? She actually received critical acclaim for her performance. They said she was the best part of that movie. So maybe she has a career in acting. What was that?
She play a mannequin?
No, she actually plays like a female badass, I think. And she got the most praise. And Bruce Willis is starring in that movie too, so she can outshine him.
Okay.
I guess that's saying something.
Okay, cool. Anything else?
That's all I got.
I got a handful of stuff. I'll just go down it really quick. One, WWE is interested in Ben Carter for NXT. Another is TakeOver may have fans, which of course is tonight. So if you guys are watching TakeOver, let us know what you think about the new thing that they got going up there with fans and virtual fans. It should be about 100 live action fans. Also, the New Japan Pro Wrestling president, Harold May, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he resigned. Some people think it's because he failed to deliver on the $200 million in revenue. Other people think it's because it's the American fans and the American talent there that dislikes him, so letting all the Bullet Club members go to the U.S. WrestleMania 37 is going to probably be in Tampa because of all their rules and regulations are so loose there. And Okada is dealing with a lower back issue. This is from a couple websites, and I just want to say that can be really bad because the lower back is a bad place to have issues because of nerves and spinal stuff, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very bad.
I would know.
That guy's always fighting through injuries. I give him so much credit. I hope he's all right. Ben Carter, I'm not surprised about because Seth Rollins is the one who trained him. So I know they're probably seeing this and loving him, so they won't want to bring him over.
Yeah.
And that last president of New Japan, he had a very short run, one of the shortest runs in the company for a president. He really wasn't that good. He came with a lot of promises, but nothing really panned out for him. So hopefully with this new president, he'll have a relationship with AEW because I think that's what they're trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the unnamed AEW talents said they think that they'll be able to with a new president, and he called the old dude an idiot, so he was not very well liked.
No.
And to add on to the Ben Carter thing, a lot of companies want him right now. Impact, MLW, NWA, a whole lot of companies want him right now. So he's going to sign somewhere. He's not going to be roaming around for a while.
Yeah.
What else we got? And also to add on to I guess now it's called the Capitol Wrestling Center, no longer the Performance Center. Apparently they moved out because Full Sail would not allow them to have live crowds, which understandable, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And also because they didn't want their students to be cross into, physically go to the WWE side because they're trying to keep it somewhat quarantined. And the students were the ones who actually put the show together to get on the job experience.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So of course if WWE goes somewhere, they get something out of it.
Yeah.
What else? I got two more things. MLW signs a deal. So they'll be airing content in the UK and Ireland, which doesn't affect us, but that's a pretty big deal for wrestling promotion.
Yeah, it's good for them to grow.
Yeah. So we could see them. I don't think they'll get on AEW's level, but we could see them becoming a big deal. And Jack Gallagher makes his first public statement about his speaking out accusations from the summer. Basically admits that he drank too much and acted inappropriately to the girl that accused him. And he apologized.
Not gentlemanlike.
True that. But that's all I've got for news and rumors.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I got too much. There's just one thing AJ revealed. They got knocked out by D'Lo Brown Frog Splash back in TNA for a split second.
Oh.
Said it was the worst bump he ever took. And then I keep seeing these reports that James Storm signed with WWE, but because of the COVID and quarantine stuff, he hasn't been able to get cleared to debut or come into the company.
So I kept getting confused by the article. He did sign or he was going to sign?
I thought it said he signed, so I was confused too. That's why I didn't really want to bring it up, but I'm not sure on that. But if he does sign, that'd be cool to see him in there.
Yeah, it'd be good boost for NXT. All right.
Yeah, I mean he was there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was. Any other news before we head on to next segment?
That's all I got.
Go.
All right, I dig it. Well, enough gab. Let's play some games. Zach, what you got for us?
Today we're going to play Bop It. Just to save some time, we'll do a little speed round, and we'll do this in the order you guys are on my computer. I will say something. You tell me if you want to bury or push it. We'll go Paul, Knock, Eric. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Raw Underground.
Barry.
Push.
Push.
Okay. Eddie Kingston's Stable.
Push.
I like him, but Barry.
Barry.
All right. Heel Roman.
Push.
Push.
Yep. Austin Theory.
Okay, Barry.
Barry for now.
Yeah, I'll say Barry.
Okay. 2 world titles on Impact.
Push.
Barry.
Barry, because every time I see that, I'm so confused. I'm like, what the fuck?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it can be cool.
My
If they
small
have a
brain can't
plan
handle
with it, then
Yeah. They do
Yeah,
something
they
unique.
need to have a plan. I don't see what they're doing because they haven't really recognized the second world title, but they act like it is because he defends it. So I don't get what they're doing.
right. It's kind of
Yeah.
odd.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, if you're JR, I know what you're going to say for this one, but picture in picture.
Wait, what?
JR just loves picture in picture. He loves it
Yep.
more than barbecue sauce and life itself.
Picture. Wait.
The way he hypes it up.
What is picture in picture?
When you go to commercial and like there's a small screen that shows the wrestling.
Okay. Barry.
Yeah, Barry. I can't really watch it like that. I appreciate it, but I can't watch like that.
Yeah.
A part of me doesn't want to bury it, but I'll say Barry just because save your money and make the main event commercial free.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes. Robert Stonebrand.
I'm kind of torn because like I want him to go somewhere, but at the same time, as of right now, I don't care. So Barry, I guess.
Push it to the moons. Comedic gold.
Agree. Push.
All right. Randy Orton.
Push.
Push Solid Snake.
Bury him. Bury him. Put him in sensitivity class and then put him in jail. Just put him somewhere. Asshole.
The quick roll-up victory.
Barry.
Barry.
I'll say push. I think
It's
WWE
too
does it
overdone,
much.
bro.
They do it too
Why?
much, but it's
I
still.
get what you mean.
They shouldn't be doing it too much, but certain people like Sami Zayn doing it, I'm cool with. But they do it way too much.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, when it becomes a drinking game, then you should probably hold off on it. Alexa and the Fiend,
Push.
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 without a doubt.
I'm
Team
telling you,
Taz.
Alexa's getting a movie deal after this.
Yeah.
Team Taz.
Barry.
Push.
Barry.
That's so
Col-
bad. Push this. They've been having a lot of chemistry together. If you've seen Dark, they have really good chemistry on commentary and talking to each other. It's really cool.
There's something about it I don't like. I know I definitely don't like that it's called Team Taz. Like, why is Taz the center focus of this?
Yeah.
But
It'll all make sense when they get cheerleaders.
Spirit Squad shows up.
Hey, they're ex-WWE. Why not?
Please.
All right. Cody's new look.
Barry. I like his old look better. He looks better blonde.
I'll say push. Like, this is his original look. It just, the dye or whatever they made to make black looks weird, but now it's starting to fall back into how he's supposed to look. I'm fine with
I
it.
guess so. He was more of a brunette though in the past.
Yeah.
Was
push. He had
Yeah.
brown hair.
I
But
thought it was black.
I dig it. All the people calling him Robbie Rotten on the internet, but I still like it.
All right.
Wait,
Last one. Last one. Pumpkin
That's so
spice
good.
lattes.
Oh,
Bury
Disgusting,
pumpkin spice
Barry.
lattes.
They're disgusting. I hate pumpkin spice.
Basic ass drink.
Chris, I know you're listening, you
Disgusting.
basic ass bitch. Bury it.
That's it for
man.
Pop.
But yeah, all right. But Cody's
Nice.
here, bro. Like, it took a while for the blonde to grow on you. Let's give it a few weeks here. We know that dye was too strong in the beginning. Let's let it-
They ran out of time. They had to Sharpie it.
Surprised his eyes weren't like watering as he came down to the ring. Oh man, but thank you for that, Zach. Paul, we're gonna toss you the talkie stick. What you got for us in your Hall of Fame?
All right. So last Hall of Fame, I did a wrestling maneuver, and I'm going to do the same this week. But this one's going to be a little different. This week, I'm going to put an aerial technique on the outside. I'm going to duck that into the Hall of Fame. So I'm talking about things like planchas, suicide dives, topes, supers. So if for the people who are not informed, a dive from the outside is basically whenever a wrestler goes over the rope to perform an aerial technique onto a opponent on the outside. And there are differences between, I think there are 4 different types. The first one being a plancha, where the wrestler jumps up from the top rope and they land onto the opponent in a crossbody. So chest to chest is what a plancha is. A tope is a luchador term, and it is when you perform head first with your dive. So it looks like you're kind of hitting the opponent with your head. And a suicide is almost the same, except you're extending completely forward. And you're, so like, for example, Lita did this a lot in the past. It's almost like a spear onto the outside. You're diving, think head first. These are wrestling classics. I believe when you are training in wrestling, it's one of the first things that people learn how to do in order to get to the professional rank. However, the reason why I wanted to bring it up this week is because there's been a lot of talk about safety precautions regarding aerial moves on the outside, particularly the suicide dives, because a lot of wrestlers have gotten injured and a lot of people's careers have actually ended because of this. So much in fact that Vice has actually written an article begging wrestling promotions to ban suicide dives. So I kind of wanted to get your guys' insight on the whole situation. Where do you guys stand on this situation? Let's start off with Eric.
Vice, stay in your lane. I say that jokingly, but because I don't know, I don't think the suicide dive's that bad. I would do it.
Yeah.
It's scary, but
it's scary. I mean, you're diving in head first, so that is leeway for potential injury. It's very high risk, and wrestling is all about protecting your opponent. So, what do you think?
Literally, the first thing they teach you when you start wrestling is to fall flat on your back. That could you fuck up, you knock yourself out. Like everything you do in wrestling is dangerous. It sucks. It's like football. Like, do you tell them to stop playing because of the concussions? It's a discussion.
There's a difference between pro wrestling and football. Pro wrestling, it's almost like choreo. You know, everything is staged. It's planned. Whereas football, you kind of just go all out.
Oh, I don't know. I still go ahead, Knock. I don't know how to go ahead.
I think a tope is we're talking about, like, as far as compared to other wrestling moves, I think that's not as dangerous as they're trying to make it out to be. I feel like there's a lot more leeway with a tope, especially compared to like if you're doing a moonsault out the ring or whatever, or something like that. Yeah. You have knees involved, and I feel like going head first is more ideal to catch for the person to catch the person, as opposed to, like I said, the moonsault or something else, where it's just more limbs.
What if you don't catch the opponent and they dive headfirst into the concrete?
You're just not doing your job then. I mean, I don't know what.
You know what it comes down to?
Slip-ups are a thing. Slip-ups are a thing.
What it comes down to...
I can see that. You gotta have the timing for sure. Just try to be on the same page.
Yeah. And, like, so I can't remember which legend said this, but I'm sure a lot of them agree. And I've said jokingly on the podcast that I would never let anyone hit me with a tombstone pile driver unless it was Taker, but not anymore. Yeah. What it comes down to is if I'm in a match, like if I'm in a match against you, and then 2 weeks later I'm in a match against Knock, I wouldn't let you, and this is an example, this has nothing to do with like real life. I would say I'm not going to let Paul hit me with a suplex because I know that he hasn't learned that yet.
No.
But Knock, I'd say, okay, I know Knock knows how to do a suplex. So it comes down to you need to be a judge of what the other person can handle.
Okay, I like that. Zach, what do you think about this? You're being a little quiet there.
Oh, I'm just letting the two people who know what they're talking about talk, because I'm just when you talk about these, thank you for bringing up the names and everything, because I had no idea what it was. The thing is, I kind of like, as a fan who doesn't really do the moves in the ring and all that, I kind of want to see
Right.
a little less of it. Just personally, it's done every match almost now. Some cases by people I wouldn't expect to have it done with, just because it's like the Destroyer. People who I didn't expect to do the Destroyer are now doing the Destroyer, and it's kind of losing its edge on me. But I kind of like, if you're making a match with someone, I mean, and if you're gonna do it, it's 50-50 responsibility. So I don't know if I would personally just ban everything. I mean, the frog splash. I mean, I watched Eddie Guerrero have a bone come out of his arm on live TV doing a frog splash. I mean, anything can happen in almost any move.
Right.
So I think the basic consensus here is it's wrestling. You shouldn't ban something outright just because it's dangerous, because again, wrestling is dangerous. And also you think that, so it sounds like you guys are saying like the people who can land it successfully should do it, and the people who can't shouldn't.
Yeah, you definitely want to be on the same page with your opponent. Want to know your opponent if they can handle it, if they can do it. Also, like, you ever seen Samoa Joe do the tope suicida?
Yes.
Or
Sick.
like someone like him, where the dude's huge. So like,
yeah,
you would think like, oh, it would be unsafe. But if you ever see the way he does it and the way he lands, like he lands kind of on himself. Like he'll hit you and then he'll try to land on his knees or protect his fall. So that doesn't look unsafe to me. Or like, I get anything can happen, but that looks fine to me. I would take that from him.
Okay.
I think the only thing I'd really ban is like the buckle bomb. Like that's a one person deal, and that person can't see what's behind the person he's throwing into the buckle. So I mean, I mean it's like a 25%, kind of going like the Steiner math. So it's like 25% really one person and 75% luck.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So it sounds as if you guys are not with Vice in this argument. You don't think that the suicide dive should be banned, and I don't really think so either. And the reason why I'm putting it into the Hall of Fame today is because it's such a wrestling staple. Like doing a suicide from the outside is just something wrestlers have been doing since, I want to say, like mostly the 90s. They didn't really do it in the 80s that much, right, Zach?
No, not really.
Yeah,
because guys are more guys are more big. There's a lot of smaller guys didn't come until later on. So.
Yeah,
exactly. So, but still, since the 90s, that's still like a good, maybe like more than 20 years that this has been kind of wrestling tradition. So I'm going to place it into the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to say just be safe with it. And that is my Hall of Fame segment today.
All right. Nice discussion. Speaking of discussions, Knock, you've got one for us about 5-star matches.
Yeah, last one of the day. So like, just recently on Clash of Champions, we've seen the ladder match, which I thought was like a 5-star match in my opinion. I just wanted to like lead up to you guys. What makes a 5-star match for you guys? Like, how important is the crowd? How important is the build up to it? The in-ring ability, stuff like that. Like the different pillars of building a 5-star match for you personally, and compared to other stuff, like what's more important, and vice versa. So if you guys, whoever wants to open up first.
Well, I'll say this. I don't really feel like the crowd is a huge factor. I feel like the crowd is just basically the reaction. Like it's, they'll get louder based on how good the match is. I don't think the crowd really affects a 5-star rating though.
So you can see a 5-star match without a crowd, you think?
No, yeah. I don't think it's that important personally.
What would be? Go ahead, Eric.
No, go ahead, Knock. You asked your question.
Paul, what would be like the most important things for you? Like
for a 5-star match, I would say definitely length. But on top of that, I would say just how much is going on. And by that, I kind of mean like with the time frame that you're given, if you're just consistently just landing move after move after move, I feel like that's very important. There's no stalling. Everything is smooth. The transitions are clean. Also, just the right amount of drama, understanding ring psychology. That's very important in a 5-star match. Those are just a couple of factors for me.
Okay. Eric?
So I'm going to disagree with the crowd. I think, which sucks, because one of my predictions for TakeOver was that we'll see a 5-star match, I hope there's a crowd there. I don't think you can reach 5 stars without a crowd. I think it's almost. I don't think the crowd realizes how much a part of the show they really are. So I'll give you 2 matches to watch. First one, Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Watch that on mute without the crowd, and it's a different ranking. Like the crowd really helped that match out. The holy shits, the this is awesome for Cassidy. Without that, it's not the same. And the other match, what was it? I can't remember. Oh well. But
nah.
But I don't know. The crowd can really elevate them. Okay, I remember what it is now. Jericho and Triple H. That match was not a bad match whatsoever. At the one where Hogan and The Rock went on before them. That was not a bad match.
That was WrestleMania 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not a bad match by any stretch of the imagination. Decent match. But because the crowd was so tired from the previous match, we all think of it in like a negative light.
Yeah, and also
that's another factor that comes in. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh no, I was just gonna say you can also bring up Kurt Angle's last match too. Like everybody was just so worn out after that fucking how long was WrestleMania 35? Yeah, I feel like the crowd.
The crowd was at it.
It was a bad match. But I just think like Kurt Angle's last match and like the women's triple threat. I feel like the crowd was just so tired by the end of WrestleMania 35 that they just didn't care. So I get your point, Eric. It does.
That's another factor I didn't talk about, but that's like the placement of the match in the card also.
Yeah.
So that takes importance. I mean, how about you, Zach? I feel like what's more important to lead to that 5-star match, or what do you think about yours?
For me, just being having seen like so much different kinds of wrestling and stuff, I take it in 2 parts. Not that I put these 2 parts together, but right now I can see a 5-star match without a crowd. That ladder match with Sammy, AJ, and Jeff. It was like just shy of 5-star to me because it was just so good because it had storytelling, good spots, and everyone's energy was in that match. That being said, you watch something at like Mania or something, even that match when Sammy was holding the title up, how much cooler would have been with a crowd?
Yeah.
Watching them hold it up to just the hard cam and that's it. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So that takes away from a 5-star experience, in my opinion. Also, I can take away, I really like storytelling because Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair was obviously 5-star match because of the storytelling. But if you're going to give me Drew Gulak versus Daniel Bryan and they put on a 5-star match, I know it because it's just great wrestling and I don't need a story in that case. So I guess for me, it's just experience with watching enough wrestling to where I enjoy it based on what it is. I know 2 wrestlers going at it without a storyline can be a 5-star match. And I also know something with a crowd that people are invested in and a good storyline and storytelling. That's a 5-star match too. And those are more 5-star matches, in my opinion, with the crowd.
Yeah.
Totally.
I didn't think I would ever see something that I could consider 5 stars until that ladder match, as far as like just straight up matches, not like the cinematic matches. But damn, like I keep saying it, like because Orange Cassidy versus Jericho or like stuff like that, like if the crowd was there, I think it would have been elevated to that next level. So I think crowd is really important.
Sorry.
I just think it has to be something different because like when I'll go to one of my favorite matches of all time, the Omega Okada series, like that was very fast paced, but they also had a lot of moments of slowing down. They built the story of Omega and the One Wing Angel, him not hitting it, and that was the entire trilogy. There was just so much into that, and like it was, they had an hour, 40 minutes to an hour at almost all those matches, so time was definitely a part of it. The crowd is a little more reserved there, so like I don't know how important crowd is because it's a very reserved crowd for the New Japan.
That's true.
Yeah, and also I wanted to bring up 205 Live too, because the crowd is always dead with 205 Live, but you know that they put on good matches.
I wouldn't say they're always dead. When you watch like their best matches, the crowd's alive for those. Which I get.
I guess so.
I get what you mean by they're dead because like I've done it. It's fucking tiring watching SmackDown and then having to pretend like you care about 205 Live. But when they have their big matches like the street fights or whatever, the crowd wakes up.
Okay.
And as far as WrestleManias go and like booking, years and years ago, if you're on the bottom of the card, you wanted to be as high up on the card as you could, closer to that main event spot. Like now, you want that opening spot at Mania. Like
Yeah,
you want that
you
opening
really do.
spot. You want to charge up the crowd. You try to put on a 5-star match. So placement is everything, and especially with how people change in their viewing habits and trying to think of a word, but I'm too dumb to think of it. But yeah, the placement on the card does make a big difference.
I guess it's also knowing your crowd too, because we've seen AJ versus Shinsuke in New Japan with that crowd, and how they did it was great, but it didn't translate over to WrestleMania with that different crowd, their placement. It was, I thought like they were pretty much a similar, very same match, did a lot of the same spots, but it just didn't work. So I don't know if that's because of the translation to the different crowd or because we've seen it already. Because a lot of the Omega Okada stuff was very different to me. It was very new. It was very cool stuff they did.
Yeah.
One thing that almost guarantees you will not get a 5-star match from me is if you work a body part the whole match.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if you're a heel, I can see that as kind of like a dirty strategy.
But when they
And
do it
it's
for
like
the whole
part of the
match,
match.
it really slows it
Yeah.
down. And, I mean, I don't need fast paced, super kick party and all that every match. But
Right. I'm just saying, like, if they do it for a little bit, it doesn't really bother me. But I get what you're saying. If it's like the entire match, it's like, okay, do something different.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Knock.
Yeah, that was a good discussion.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think is necessary for a 5-star match? And next up, I've got a discussion for us here, a little debate. So, if you guys haven't been following, WWE has decided that all Twitch accounts held by WWE superstars are going to be confiscated, and WWE will take them and they will give their superstars a percentage of what they earn. However, that percentage is coming out of their downside guarantee or their salary. So, I have searched far and wide on the internet, looking for every reason why this is a good thing for WWE and the talent. It's very surprising that there are people on the internet who actually think so. But you three are going to argue against me. You're going to say why this is bad, why it's awful, and I'm going to disagree. You all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. First off, WWE taking over these channels, these Twitch channels, it's only going to grow their fan base. It's Xavier Woods, AJ Styles, and Paige's fan base, because once WWE takes it over, they're going to advertise the hell out of it on Raw, on SmackDown. The casual viewers are going to check them out, and that's going to be more revenue for everyone.
Okay, wonderful. But the reason Xavier and AJ are successful is because they're passionate about it. It's something they love to do. Now, everyone on the roster should have to do this because not everyone loves doing this type of stuff.
But you don't think that – sorry, go ahead.
No. You go first.
I was going to say, but so you don't think – if Xavier Woods was never Xavier Woods, do you think he would still have – like if he was just Austin Creed from Impact, do you think he would still have the amount of followings he has now?
I think so, because he's really good at what he's doing. It might have took a little longer, but he's just very passionate about it.
Mm-hmm. And also something I wanted to say, Eric, you remember when you said Vice should stay in their own lane?
Yeah.
I think that WWE should stay in their own lane. Like, this has nothing to do with them. This is something that wrestlers do on their free time. They already have that name recognition from the WWE, so why should the WWE push this even further? I just feel like this is a way that they're trying to take money from superstars. Just let them do their own thing.
So you're saying they got this name recognition from WWE?
Yes.
So without WWE, they would never have made this money in the first place. So,
well, but if it's like a WWE star wanting to start a Twitch, that's something completely different.
I see your point, Eric. And I'll tell me this: how about Zack Ryder? How successful was he with his thing before WWE got their hands in it?
With True Island IC or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't that start?
How quickly did that go down once WWE took over?
Call your shyster lawyer.
I concede that to you, but okay.
Remember Xavier Woods? He even said he did it. He refused to give him the rights to WWE at first. He wouldn't have did it if they had it from the beginning.
I totally forgot about that, Knock. That's a very good point.
He says that, but the fact that WWE does help him with up, down, down. He says so himself. He has a team of editors now. He has more equipment than what he started out with. So if they're putting something into it, why shouldn't they get a chunk of it?
Right. And you personally, when's the last time you watched Up, Down, Down?
A month ago. or whenever Fall Guys was popular.
Okay. And how about before then? Just trying to gauge how much you watch it.
Maybe months ago. I'm not a very consistent viewer.
Okay.
I am. So
okay, Paul, exactly.
Yeah, I am. So I'm sorry, not to sound rude, but what's the point?
All right, so you watch it consistently. The point is, all the production and stuff. Even if that wasn't there, would you still watch? Like, why are you watching? Is it Xavier's personality or the production?
Yes, I would still watch, and yes, it is because of Xavier Woods' personality. He's just somebody I relate to. He loves anime, he loves wrestling, he loves video games. I relate to him, so that's why I'm subscribed.
Exactly, his personality.
Okay, so that's us because we're fans of Xavier Woods. But let's say to the casual, someone who does not know wrestling at all, the casual YouTuber who is looking for a gamer to follow on YouTube.
Right.
Are you telling me that if Xavier Woods, with none of the editing, none of the production, would get that person's attention?
Xavier Woods with none of the editing, none of the production, would you either watch him or would you watch Baron Corbin with all the production in the
world? That's different. You're taking someone who isn't a gamer.
I'm giving you an example of someone who's
a gamer. He plays games.
Under WWE's new policy, everyone has to Twitch stream. So would you watch Baron Corbin or not?
You know what? Yes, I would. And I watch him every SmackDown. I enjoy his work. Okay, so another point that I had brought up. One of the reasons The Rock stopped going by The Rock is because every time he did a movie as The Rock, he'd have to give a kickback to Vince. Mm-hmm. John Cena himself has said that he has no problem doing this. Every movie for the rest of his life.
He's a fucking chill.
He's for the rest of his life. He can't even sneeze without Vince telling him it's okay. Why shouldn't people who created him, why shouldn't they get some sort of thank you? Some sort of, hey, here's a thank you for all you've done.
Maybe John Cena's not the best example, but with The Rock,
he's not the best.
Did he really need the WWE promoting him? He already had that natural charisma to begin with.
But would you have seen that natural charisma without WWE? Like, I hate to bring up his past. Before WWE, the dude was a football star. That didn't work out for him. He admits he was homeless for a while. I don't know what he would be doing. I think he has that natural charisma, but would he have gotten it out there into the world without the WWE?
Probably, maybe. We never know. And also, what does this have to do with Twitch?
It's the same thing that you are going into a different venue. For The Rock and Cena, it's acting. For these guys, it's Twitch. Mm-hmm. You're going to a different avenue. Your popularity, as far as we know today, a huge part of your popularity is WWE. Mm-hmm. Why shouldn't they? It's like if Johnny Depp twitched as Captain Jack Sparrow. He can't just do that. It's not his property. The character, when Xavier Woods started streaming on Twitch, when AJ and Paige did, they did it as their name was their WWE character. So why shouldn't WWE cash in on that?
Because it has nothing to do with wrestling. So therefore,
the Twitch.
Yeah. But it also has nothing to do with wrestling. This is something that wrestlers do in their free time. So again, WWE, stay in your lane. This isn't something that you should really be profiting off of. And also, say, for example, like, give me a wrestler that uses their real name.
No, I don't think any of them. Maybe AJ Styles does. I don't know. But I think
he does the Styles Clash. He uses his finisher. He uses his finisher as that Twitch.
They've all changed it by now, which they should.
Okay. I think that's stupid. I think that he should be able to use his birth-given name for his Twitch stream. I don't like. I hate the fact that WWE is profiting off of that. I think it's shady and underhanded.
Okay. Then
does the word independent contractor mean anything to you, Eric? I think we'd be remiss if we didn't bring that up.
It fully does. If you're an independent contractor and you agree to it, then the bottom line is you. Fuck, I hate this argument.
Let me set this up for you guys. For the independent contractor thing, if I am going to work on Eric's house, like Champions, whatever, and then I go to work on Knox's house, mm-hmm. I can't use stuff from Eric's house on Knox's house. So I can't use like, you know what I'm saying? Like if he has like tools that I don't have, I can't bring tools over
I
to
get you.
Doc's house.
I
So
get
that's
you.
like the name thing. Like you can't, if you're an independent contractor, everything you do has to be independent. So they do have to use their real name. I get that whole thing. Like you can't use your character's name that we created, because if you're going to do that, we get money off of it. Your Johnny Depp thing is spot on. Disney would have to profit from that. If you're going to be an independent contractor, they have to use their first name or their own name. It should be an option, I think, in this contract. They can either use their own name, or if they think that they're not going to get found as much with not using their WWE names, then they can sign this WWE deal. And then you kind of laid out a good point, Eric, because it's like with WWE, they're going to bring so much more to the table and show these off to everywhere in the world that they are promoting stuff already. So it's like, do you want 100% of a grape, or do you want like 30% of a watermelon? Like, to quote Mark Cuban on a Shark Tank. I mean, that's basically what it is. But
what else is in this? What else is in this contract? Imagine you leave, like you're Rusev, and you leave, and they have all this control. And now you lose control of it. That's
the other point. Is like you have to be able to use your own name and not be acquitted with WWE here. And you also, like, if you sign this contract, it has to be, once I'm done with the company, you do not own my Twitch channel anymore. None of this like 90-day stuff. These people need to take control of that part of the contract, and it sucks because they won't, because you have to get in lawyers to do this.
That is, thank you, Zach. That actually is what I was hoping we would build to eventually. That once they sign these contracts, they are taking it out of their hands. We're hearing lots of reports that they are angry about it. Well, stop being angry about it and do something.
Let me read the report here that went out from Vince here. All right. I don't think my throat can take doing this whole thing in a Vince voice, but
hey, yo.
Just a friendly reminder that this Friday, October 2nd, is the deadline for severing any unauthorized business relationships with third parties. As was mentioned in my September 3rd message, continued violations beyond this deadline will result in fines and may result in suspension or termination. If you need further details, please contact our EVP of Operations, Brad Bloom. Thank you, Vince. And I think when he puts thank you, Vince at the end, he wants you to say thank you, Vince, like for giving me life. Like it's not thank you, sincerely, Vince. It's like thank you, Vince. I'm Vince McMahon. You're welcome.
I wholeheartedly believe that. And to respond to what you said, Paul, to do what? The people who are affected by this, really, like the big people, AJ, Paige, Xavier Woods. Paige, she's made it clear that she doesn't want to do this, which good for her. She can actually stop. She can cut ties with WWE. She's got enough money through Twitch and her fashion line. She doesn't have to do this anymore.
Okay.
AJ, he's got a big enough name to where I think it's like, if he still wants to wrestle, good on him. He could leave too. Or he could very least say, hey, I'm not signing this. He has enough name recognition where he could start that talk.
You could.
I think the excuse of WWE is the biggest name in town, you don't want to stop working for them, that excuse is done. Like nowadays, there's a lot of opportunities out there in the wrestling world. I just think that this is the time, like, if you sign that contract, my sympathy for you kind of goes out the window at that point, because you should do something before it gets to that point. It's hard to do, but
you have to.
But who wouldn't sign that contract, though?
I wouldn't sign that contract.
Can you imagine being Adam Cole and getting in trouble for doing a stream with your girlfriend? Like someone who's close to you like that?
Like you're basically allowing them to control your private life.
Yeah.
I fully get why they want to do this, but it's also the same thing. I wouldn't sign this contract because you got to understand like personal freedom, what that means, and personal peace of mind, like how that outweighs just being a part of the largest company and like trying to be the next whatever in their company. Like Eric said, like the Good Brothers said, they want to retire in Impact. They have good peace of mind. They know, I know they've been around. They're more veterans than some of these younger people that do Twitch. But I mean, you got to reach out. You got to start talking to other people in the business and be like, is this worth it? Is it worth like selling myself for this? Because that's what you're doing. You're selling yourself. You're selling your personality. You're using your character's name, but you're using your own personality on these channels.
Right.
So that's what they really just got to think about. The violations stuff that are going to happen, the suspensions, you're going to be on a suspension for your contract, and they're just going to make sure you don't go on any other program. The termination, that's what you hope for then.
Yeah.
But then again, in the contract, does it say okay, we own this forever? Or does it say we own this until you are terminated? That's the verbiage that they need to look at. They do need to hire lawyers to look at these things, even if they do 100% agree with them.
I guess like if you're speaking in that sense, like now, definitely, since Eric, you did make a very good point. Like there are so many other promotions that you can go to. WWE is not the end all be all. I get it.
And for any wrestler who happens to hear this, if you do sign the contract and you're happy with it, then cool. Like,
yeah,
John Cena is living his best life. He sold his soul to Vince McMahon, then that's his choice. Like, whatever you can live with. I just don't want wrestlers to sign this contract and then next year we're hearing that they all regret it.
Yeah.
So before we end this segment, again, I completely disagree with everything that I said. I am against this deal, but just for the sake of having it out there, that is the debate. That's the discussion.
Okay.
That was good because it's just like how we did with the independent contractor episode. You got to look at both sides. You got to look at that. And you made a good point about like they could possibly be making a lot more money off this with the exposure from WWE. But again, it's whatever you're comfortable doing and selling whatever your soul, your personality, whatever to selling it out.
Just like WWE profiting off of this whole thing, it just seems so corporate to me.
Well, I mean, they're a corporation, like, you know. So.
I get it, but it's like that doesn't make it a good thing.
I just don't get the bottom line. I mean, that's the weirdest part of it to me, that they're taking the money you make. So you're going to have to stream, but they're going to take it out of your salary. I just don't get that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to stream in that case. I'm just going to say, fuck it.
Exactly.
And it's rumored that they're going to force people to stream now. Yeah. So it's really weird. So if I don't stream, if I just like playing Contra.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I brought up Corbin. Like, people that just don't have a passion for this, I don't see why they should be forced to do this.
I don't want to see Nia Jax stream. I don't need her screaming on my laptop either. Come on.
I should use her as an
like,
example.
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably talk about this again in like 4 weeks when they actually do it. But that's that segment, and we will move on to greener pastures. Zach, good to promos.
All right, today on Promo School, I was gonna do something to punish Eric for handling the championship the way he did, screwing me over by the predictions and everything. But I thought we'd just have a little bit more fun with it. So today we're just going to cut face promos. I would like either Paul or Knock to cut a face promo on Eric himself, and the other one to cut a face promo on his Just Us League.
This is a beautiful day, folks. Le Champion is getting the praise he deserves.
And Eric.
Wait, I was about to say, does it have to be praise?
A face promo. Your version of a face promo.
Okay.
Eric, I want you to cut a face
promo on
the three of us.
Okay. Asking the impossible. Okay.
I think I can do the Justice League, Zach. I can do the Justice League.
Okay, just remember all the Little Rascals' name in there, who are all involved in it, and wherever the treehouse is located.
My big dog, April, Tsunami.
Whoever's ready first can go.
All right. So last week, guys, I signed the contract. It's me versus all 4 members of the Justice League. This is the stable that has taken over the West Coast Pop. Le Champion Eric, April, Big Dog, and Tsunami. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get this done, but with the help of the rest of you guys out here in this crowd listening, you channel your energy to me, and I will try to take on this tough task, this tall task, this Herculean task of taking out the Justice League, taking that title from Le Champion, the longest reigning champion there is.
Okay. That was good.
So Paul, when you do your promo, just remember I have defended the title successfully 5 times, and I am acknowledged, as Knox said, the longest reigning champion.
We'll see. So is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you got?
Okay. Base promo. I mean, Eric, I got to hand it to you. You did win fair and square. You technically won. I'm not particularly happy with this decision, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to be a man and I'm going to shake your hand. However, don't think that this will stop me, stop Zach, stop Knock from trying to take you down. You know what? In fact, this is actually going to fuel our fire. So celebrate all you want with that little cult you have in your little bungalow when you're on vacation, because you know what? We're going to come 10 times harder next time. So you better watch your back, because it's the Just Us League versus West Coast Pop. And that's a fact.
Okay. First of all, I want to congratulate you three. I just want to say it must be so difficult, but you guys still do it. You guys managed to handle being second, third, and fourth place. Congratulations. I mean that sincerely, because I know it's not easy. I mean, Knock is over here pumping out 1,000-view videos. Congratulations. Applause to you, sir. And you edit this podcast every week, and what amazing edits. I think in the comment section, I'm going to start a little section for you, sir. Dedication to Knock. You know what? Today, Sunday, dedication to Knock Day. So congratulations. And Paul, how could I forget you, Paul? I mean, you don't predict as much as the rest of us, but you still try, and you still lose sometimes, but you still try, and I respect that. And Zach, you've proven to me that age is nothing but a suggestion. You have shown me that I can do anything I want to do once I hit 70, and I can't help but be inspired by the three of you. But of course, there can only be one winner. And that's the Just Us League. So that's why I'm inviting all three of you to join me. It's not too late to join us. The Just Us League isn't just us. It could be just all of us. So please, join us.
That's as close as the face we're going to get.
Yeah.
Man, Zach, why did you make us do these promos against this motherfucker? Let's heel promos next time.
That was awesome. That was good.
Yeah, everybody did really good.
Oh man, I'm talking all this trash. I really hope I'm still champion. I think we'll find out as soon as it's done.
Yeah, I got to check the results.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm scared you're a lawyer now. I'm not even scared of you. I'm scared you're a lawyer.
It pays to be king. And you know what? It's all thanks to Stacy. She knows a really good lawyer, even if she can't fold sheets to save her life.
Hey, don't call her out like that, man. Do your own damn laundry.
But with that, I believe that's the show. Does anyone have any last words before we wrap it up?
Yeah, new Pop Talk just went up this weekend. Please check it out on our YouTube channel. And that's, I think, it.
Yes, watch the Pop Talk. If you haven't seen the rubber match of Tic Tac Tap Out between me and Zach, check that one out also too.
Knocking my MVP on my team.
Yep, man. And I got something coming up. I got something brewing this week. Something that'll showcase my talent. So keep an eye out for that.
Very nice. I'm excited to say next Tic Tac Trivia, we're actually going to have a guest, hopefully. So if you want to join in, if you want to play in the game sometime, all you got to do is subscribe and let us know, and we'll consider it. But with that,
all is welcome.
All welcome. But with that, Zach, where can they find us?
It's pretty simple. I mean, we say it a lot on the show where they can find us. There's a lot of different platforms out there that they can find us. And
what was that?